Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to have you here. My name is J.E. Donalson. Let me just start by giving you a brief history of my wives. Yes, I did say wives. I was married 3 times. I was very content with my first wife, Mary. She was only 22 when she died in childbirth, as did our child 1 month later. My second wife, Amelia, bore me 3 beautiful children and was a wonderful wife and mother. Our middle child, Ralph, died when he was only 7 days old. Amelia died when she was 48. I then married Luli. Luli was a widow like me. There were no children from this union, but she was a fine wife and stepmother. I graduated from UGA with a degree in liberal arts and law and practiced law right here in Bainbridge. I was very active in the community and served as mayor for a year and city council member for a number of years. Many of you probably have heard of yellow fever. It is thought that the origins of yellow fever most likely lie in Africa. In 1648 was the first outbreak in the Yucatan. It was thought that the disease and the species were brought over here by ship in 1492. In 1898, about 20,000 people died in an epidemic in the Mississippi River Valley. We had our own outbreak right here in 1873. I moved my family out of the city, but elected to stay here in Bainbridge to help those suffering in our community. I built our family home in 1898, which is still standing on Shotwell Street and owned by the Rollins family. We were the first home in Bainbridge to have a wired screen. The carriage house is also still standing and in wonderful condition. The Rollins family has kept up the home beautifully. I was a large landowner and grew tobacco and cotton. I also dabbled in the lumber business and opened Donalson Lumber in the 14th district of Decatur County. Donalson became incorporated in 1897, but was still a part of Decatur County. It wasn't until 1922 it became Seminole County that it was known as the city of Donalsonville. Many say that my mills paved the road to the city's success and growth. I did build the homes and the commissaries the mill workers lived at, but I say it was them and all those that lived in the town of Donalsonville that helped grow that town. It was an honor to have Donalsonville named after me. I was very humbled and beholden. Now, my third wife, Mrs. Donalson, and Mrs. Jones brought the chapter Red Cross here in Decatur County. They were co-chairs, and my wife even offered rooms in our home where the Red Cross workers could use until they found a permanent headquarters. Now, many of you probably may not know this, but my son Earl married my stepdaughter. Did I tell you that? Well, anyway, here's some juicy small town gossip for you. My son Earl graduated from Georgia Southern, he graduated from Georgeville and with a degree in law, and he was actually very successful and did very well for himself. He was a part of the Georgia legislature and also part of the district attorney in the Georgia Southern District. Now, here's the really juicy part. Again, like I said, my son Earl married his stepsister Luli. Now, like I said, my third wife was named Luli, and in her first marriage, she had a daughter named Luli. And it gets even better. They had a daughter and named her Luli. She went on to marry Anthony Antomarchy Hearst II, which was a real estate broker from Pennsylvania. Now, Mr. Hearst II was actually named after his ancestor, Senior Anthony Antomarchy. Now, he was actually the doctor and executor to Napoleon for his death mask. Now, isn't that something? I passed from this earth in 1920. I was attending a prayer meeting at a church on Wednesday night at the Presbyterian Church. I became ill and died the next morning. Maybe I should have become a Baptist. Anyway, thank you all for stopping by. It's been a true honor and pleasure.
Thank you, Mr.